Hello, everybody, hello. There I am. Hey guys, it's me, it's Andy, Decade Andy here. We're here for Moonbase 2 podcast this week, for the week. I hope everybody's doing well today on the very, very cold day of Sunday. That's right, I remember what day it is. Yeah, Sunday, cold, chilly Sunday. Apparently it's meant to get warmer at some point this week, tomorrow, I hear. Was colder yesterday, says Daddy. Yes, it was. Apparently, it's meant to be warmer tonight. It's meant to go up from like -3 to like 5 degrees within the next few hours. Yeah, it's meant to go from like -3, then at 2 o'clock, -2, then by 6 o'clock, it's going to be 3 degrees, and then it'll be like 4 degrees for most of the rest of the day. So that's good. Daddy says he had 8 inches, 8 inches, goddamn, 8 centimeters of snow. That's a decent stretch. That's a decent amount. We've had a decent chunk where I am as well. I haven't got my measuring rod out to check to see how much there be, but there definitely be something. There'll definitely be stuff. God, you wish you had 8 inches. Most people do, Daddy. Most people do. Like I say, we've got a few bits of news this week. Not a lot because, you know, we are drawing to the end of the year and it's that time of, you know, the year when there's not much to talk about. But there's a few little things. There's a few little things to shilly-shally, shimmy-shammy about. I tell you one thing that we've got that I'm not going to talk about on the show. It's they've got the reactive Starscream design. I don't know why they put this up as news because we've already seen the toy, so we know what the bloody thing looks like. Seems a bit redundant. But never mind. Never mind. Let us begin the poopcast, everybody. Let us begin pooping, and we'll just see how it goes. Okay. Music time.
Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name is Andy, Decade Andy, and I'm here alone this week on this very cold 3rd of December orb. Hope everybody's been open their calendars well and gracefully gobbling down those little sweeties and truffles and snuffles from your advent calendar, if you do so happen to have one. We're going to be talking about some Transformers this week. You may be surprised to hear. We never do that. It's a real page turner. We'll go with that. Yeah, it's a real page turner. Not a huge amount of stories this week. As I say, it is getting the end of the year, and that just be how it be. But I did get my box of Transformers I was meant to get at the end of last week, or I thought I would get at the end of last week. I now have them, so we actually have some Transformers to talk about that I have in hand. All molds that I've never touched before. I was going to say before today, but I have finangled with them before today, thankfully. We're going to talk about the news, though, first, so let's kick off with Fans Hobby MB25 Energy Wing Saber. So it's Wing Saber, or Star Saber, whatever he was bloody called, from the Energon series. He's going to combine with, what's it called? The MB18 Energy Commander. This guy was always kind of a strange original toy release. Just because he split completely halfway down the middle and turned into little booty wings and, well, new arms and new legs, I suppose, didn't he? So this is uncolored prototype we have. We have multiple images of what he looks like. Hard to tell if he's going to have a head joint. The original one can turn his head left and right. I assume this being third party, he will be able to. But yeah, it looks like he can. A few shots, there's maybe a minor bit of head movement. He's probably not going to be spinning the head round and round, but I hope there's a little bit of something there. The jet mode, let's call it, is still as interesting as the original figure. It's I always find it hard to describe what this vehicle mode looks like, because it doesn't really look like anything. It kind of looks like maybe a boomerang with guns attached to the sides is maybe the best way to describe it. There's some combined images with Fat Optimus Prime. This always looked better in my eyes than his regular vehicles, you know, the submarine, the drill, the fire engine. This always, to me, always had a cooler look to it. It still looks okay, even unpainted and whatnot. Something about the thighs that don't really work too well, but I think once it's painted, it'll all mush together fine and well and dandy enough. And let's be honest, you're probably buying Wing Saber to be pants and arms rather than for the individual figure, I assume. Maybe I'm wrong. You can have him in standard jet mode, or you can have guns underslung from the arms if you wish. You can. So it looks like there's a little bit of a playability, and it's not just stuck to one mode. He looks still fairly articulated with the wing saber on the Optimus Prime, but apart from that, it's very much it's wing saber. He's not Tidal Wave. He's definitely not Tidal Wave. Tidal Wave was always cooler and probably will still be cooler. And I think I'm more annoyed that our prototype images of Tidal Wave, have we had proper images of Tidal Wave? Have we had proper images of Tidal Wave? I'm not sure now. Let's have a look. Because I can't remember if we've had real big boy ones. What was it called again? God, what was the thing called? I can't even remember. Oh, there it is. Fans Hobby. God, I'm dumb. I forgot what the thing was. Fans Hobby. I can also get to check out when Dark Strike is coming out as well, can't I? At least the Japanese version of Dark Strike. Okay, so he's still not out. Good. That's fine. That's okay. Now, where's Tidal Wave? Tidal Wave. Have we had decent images for Tidal Wave? Let's have a look. I don't think... Oh, no, we have. I must have just forgotten because I'm stupid. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. I was going to complain because we didn't have prototype images of Tidal Wave. I'm wrong. We do have images of Tidal Wave. That's all good. When's Tidal Wave theoretically meant to be coming out? I assume next year. First quarter, so sometime next year. Who knows when? I think Tidal Wave always cooler than Wing Saber. Maybe that's just me, but technically we'll be seeing Hasbro's Tidal Wave at some point soon in the not too distant future as well. On the menu as well today, we've got the 3-0 G2 Megatron exclusive. So 3-0 known for doing the MDLX Megatron. This is the G2 variant, so it's the same mold. Unfortunately, the same face. They didn't give him the scowling face with the big teeth or anything where he's screaming in only the 90s way that they could. So he'll be on the exclusive 30HK HongKong.com, I assume, website during Winterfest event, which is going to happen. Damn, that's late. Happening on the 21st of December, so not too far off, but very, very close to Christmas, which happens at 8 p.m. Eastern US time, if you're wondering. So you can go and get this version. Again, I don't think there's anything desperately unique about him apart from he is in the G2 colors, and if you thought, hey, I like the look of this Megatron but I think the colors are a bit boring, maybe these will take a bit more to your fancy. Personally, no, I still don't think it does a lot for me, but it's always good to get repaints out just to recoup money. That's never a bad thing, I suppose, but I would have appreciated a new head, so we could get the proper G2 90s-ness to him rather than just like the basic paint job. It's, the most basic thing you could do, but yeah, whatever. I don't even see, no, they should be able to have it. Oh, no. I was going to say they don't have a Decepticon insignia. They do. It's just kind of hidden on his left shoulder. And it is the G2 symbol as well. So that's I guess that's good that they've done that. Yeah, it didn't do too much for me. If you wondered the specs on this figure, it's 7 inches tall. It's going to be limited to 50. So there's only going to be 50 of these. So if you do want one, it is going to be a very limited item, for better or for worse, I suppose, depending on how desperately you want one and how easily you can get one. It's going to have 45 points of articulation like the original one and like the original version of the figure made with die-cast metal. Accessories are going to be the fusion cannon, the back cannon, which is, I guess, different, and 4 sets of hands. So, not a huge amount. There you go. Not a lot to be expected, I guess. Next up, because we are running through these quickly, we're almost done with the news, believe it or not. The HasLab Deathsaurus is going to get delayed for the UK. So, Big D, I remember you said you had one coming. Well, too bad. You're going to get fucked. So, according to new information, Deathsaurus has got an estimated shipping date. Originally, They were thinking spring 2024, which would have been March, April, or May. However, it's updated recently to say it's going to be February, approximately. So sometime in February, people will be getting their Deathsaurus. I want to know when I'm getting my Hiss Tank. That's more important to me because I've actually got a pre-order for that rather than Deathsaurus, as I've mentioned on the show before. But yeah, if you want your Deathsaurus UK, you're going to have to suck a potato, as is usually the way. Yeah, so it's not spring. We have the image that says it's not going to be spring. Have they updated the Hiss Tank? Has Hiss Tank got anything on the Hiss Tank? It doesn't look like it. I know this isn't Transformers wise, but I'm interested to see if they had anything, and it doesn't seem like they do unless Hasbro Pulse. Maybe it says on Hasbro Pulse. Hasbro Pulse. Let's see. Hiss Tank. I'm interested now. I gotta know for Selfish Andy. It says fall 2023, so it's still apparently coming, I guess, soon? Question mark? I mean, you don't have a long left to the end of the year. How many weeks do you have? Like 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got 4 weeks to ship to the UK. I think, have Americans been getting their Hiss Tanks recently? I'm not entirely sure. I don't think it's too far off at the very least, but yeah. Oh, well, there you go. Deathsaurus, he coming. He be coming, boys. Just hold your socks till next year. Next bit of news is Legacy United Titan Tidal Wave, I should say, will be revealed at Cybertron Fest, I should say, of 2023. That is on the 9th and the 10th of this month, which is next month. No, next month? Next week. It'll be next week. So theoretically, we'll have our first images of Tidal Wave next week, and I can talk about that. That's one bit of news. Potentially, I'll at least be guaranteed to have something to talk about next week, which is good. I guess we'll get to see how that big boy turns out. Hopefully well. And we'll get to see what kind of color scheme he's going for. I think they're going for... No, we know he's going for the original TV colors, right? I'm pretty sure we know that already. Anyway, yeah, they've got a little note here saying global reveal on the... global reveal of fall 2024 items. So he's coming out fall, apparently. Be amongst the first to catch the global reveal of Transformers Legacy Titan toy, which will launch in fall 2024. So he coming. He be coming, boys. And our last bit of news. Oh boy, everybody. So, it appears that 2024 series, Studio Series Commander will be apparently none other than Optimus Prime, thanks to leaks. This was from, the devious sources that we usually get. It also says for the story here, this will be the Studio Series' second 86 Commander in a row. And perhaps fitting choice will be the brand's 40th anniversary, with it being the brand's 40th anniversary, with Optimus Prime happening. We anticipate an 86 Megatron as well follow. I think that may well follow, which would make sense because the last Megatron we got was I'm gonna say War for Cybertron. You might say, but what about Earthrise? And I'd say it was the same old, just with tweaks to it. I think Megatron deserves it more than Optimus, but I don't know how they do a Megatron Studio Series, because if you do him Studio Series, he's got to turn into a gun, because he turned into a gun in the movie. I guess the real hitter is the fact that, hey, it's an Optimus Prime. So, while pooping, I considered two separate scenarios that could happen with a Studio Series Optimus Prime figure. We could go down the dark road, the dark path, which would be, hey, what if they just re-released the leader figure and just updated his trailer and made it more fancy and gave him roller? That would, to me, be the dark timeline. I don't think they'll go down the dark timeline. I think they will make a completely new mold for Optimus Prime. Excuse me, just on the basis that it has been a while since Earthrise came out. And they've milked that donkey for a while. And of course, I would class the laser Optimus Prime as a big money milker as well, because it essentially the same toy. You know, it was a very similar mold, just with a few changes. Hey, Kaz, better look like an actual toy animation cell in toy form, or it's a no-go from me. So tired of the Earthrise. Yeah, well, Earthrise also had the weird proportions to it as well. So I hear from everybody. I still don't own that mold. I probably never will. But I remember that was one of the issues people had with the Earthrise figure. It was just kind of weirdly lanky in the leg department. It'll be interesting. It will be, cool blimey, it will be interesting, it will, to see what they do with a commander scaled. In terms of budget, I'm not sure how big they're going to make him. Because I think they want to keep, like, scale. Scale's really important to Hasbro at the moment, I suppose, isn't it? So, how much of the budget's going to be eaten up by the trailer as well? Because he's going to have a pissing trailer as well. So my concern is, will it be a really obnoxious trailer like it was for Rodimus, which wasn't worth the price? That Rodimus figure was crap. I've seen reviews. I've never handled the toy myself, but everything I saw of that Rodimus, it was crap. Super crap. Double crap. And obviously some of that budget, or a decent chunk of that budget, was eaten up by the fact that the trailer was there and ate a lot of plastic and parts. How much will this affect the Optimus? I don't know. Am I a little disappointed it's another Optimus Prime? Yes, I am. It is very much it's another one, boys. You can never go too long without getting a new Optimus Prime, but as usual, I get why. You know, Hasbro is a business. They realize Optimus Prime is their Superman, their Batman, and you can just make a new Optimus Prime and they will generally sell. So I understand. I comprehend why they do it. It's just for me very much it's another one. That's how it always feels. Like I say, if they follow up at some point with saying, here's a new Megatron, I'd be more interested in that. But do not know how they would do a Studio Series Megatron. I honestly don't. I don't know how you do it, because unless they've somehow got around the rules of, yeah, he can turn into a Walter, whatever. He can turn into a gun. I don't know what you do, because no one's going to... I don't think I would be happy to see a quote-unquote Studio Series Megatron that's meant to be G1 in quotations again, and he turned into a tank. That wouldn't do it for me. I think a lot of people would grin and bear it. And I don't think they'd do another commander class. Even for Megatron, I think they'd bump him down to a leader. I think Megatron would be a leader class rather than a commander class, because with Ultra Magnus being fairly recent, he's still reasonably new, I would say. And having Optimus Prime coming out at some point, we obviously don't know when this Studio Series Commander Optimus Prime will hit shelves, but I can't imagine it's going to be for a while. Must be like a summer toy, surely. Like summer 2024. Summer or fall, I would guess, right? Just because you don't want big ticket item competing with other big ticket item. At least not in my ears. Anyway, that's unfortunately all of the news that I saw, because I didn't see anything else, unfortunately, worthy of discussion. A lot of it was just, hey, Christmas is coming. Have you seen the sales? I'm like, I have, but I don't really care. Oh, there's a Mech Fan Toys thing. Mech Fan Toys MSP18 Iron Sky Astro Train. What show is about then? So it seems like it's an Astro Train. I don't know anything about this. An Astro Train figure with a little tiny robot and a carrier case for his gun. Yeah, it's an Astro Train that looks like he's going to be on the smaller scale, which would make sense being a what did I say? Mech Fans Toys styled figure. So he is going to be. I'm guessing from the size of the ball joints on his ankles, he's going to be maybe deluxe size. I guess. Yeah, maybe deluxe size. And he comes with a little weird robot battle suit, which actually looks pretty cool. It doesn't look like a bad figure, to be honest. It looks kind of neat, kind of cute. Looks like it's very heavily inspired by the G1 transformation scheme. It's got a little bit of a gap in the train wheels. That's what you want to call it. How does the little suitcase attach? The little suitcase for the battle suit, it doesn't show how it attaches to either vehicle mode, but I assume it somehow does it. I don't know how, but I'm sure it do. Any information? Late January 2024. So again, pretty soon. It's coming up pretty quick. And it is priced at £35.94. £35.94. Going to be 5.12 inches tall. So yeah, deluxe-ish, Legends-ish price, I guess. Have they done, what have they done recently that's kind of fits with that kind of style? Have they done anything? The other thing they've got coming is a set of 5 Dinobots, which is 66. I guess 66 divided by 5. Is that right? 5 of them? Yeah, let's just round it down to 60. So they're about 12, 13 pounds each. I suppose if you missed out on the MechFan Toys Dinobots and you were like, hey, I just want to buy them all, you can get them, I guess, relatively cheap. Simon Tang, this looks very Diaclone battlesuit for the Astro Train. I don't know much about the Diaclone suits, but from my very, very tiny amount of knowledge that I have on them, I think you're probably right, Simon. They do kind of look like that. It looks like he's the only one that MechFan Toys have done that comes with a battle suit, though. It kind of looks a little bit weird, like standout, like it's just a random thing that they threw in, like it's something that they were knocking off and just went, just give it to Astro Train. The mini suit, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's weird. Again, not quite sure why it exists, but it definitely does. I'm just going through Show Z because there's such little news. I may as well. Pre-orders for Planet X's PX-C05 Protus Sludge, which is the IDW Sludge, is going to be coming out again late January 2024. Not too far. He will have you will get the main figure, the blaster, and the sword. For some reason, none of the images are loading. Shozy decided to die. What's happening, Shozy? Yeah, it looks like the website's crashed for some reason. Fantastic. I'd love to tell you about it. I'd love to tell you now that it's pages just died. Yeah, all right. Well, he's going to be coming. There's one image I can see. It looks like him. It looks like it's just CG renders at the moment, so there's not a huge amount to talk about there, I guess. For better or for worse, but the Planet X stuff always seems weird to me, just on the basis that we don't have all of them yet, and it feels like the Grimlock came out a long time ago. I don't know exactly when, but it feels in my mind like it came out very, very long ago. But yeah, that's it, guys. There is no more Transformers news to talk about, I'm afraid to say. So all I can do is tell you what I've been up to this week. What have I done for fun? I've been watching The Batman, the one with the Matt Reeves one. Haven't finished it yet. I've still got a way to go before finishing it. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not like blown away by it. It's maybe a little too grim. It's a little too grim for my liking. There's not a lot of Batman fun. It feels like it's stuck in the it needs to be real category. I like the Penguin. I think Penguin's neat and how they've done him. I think the stuff with Falcone and the other gangsters is done pretty well. The bat suit, I like the suit. I think the bat suit is good, but the bat helmet, cowl, whatever you want to call it, I'm not a big fan of. Looks a bit weird. Looks a bit strange. Do I think the guy playing Bruce is fine? Yeah, he's okay. He's not who I would pick for Bruce Wayne. Because when I think Bruce Wayne, I think of like the animated series. So I think of a big, strong chin, really big, broad dude. Like he's huge. Like Bruce Wayne's huge in the animated show, obviously, because he's a cartoon character. Alfred, I prefer my very, 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 very British butler rather than Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis doesn't come across to me as a very good butler. Like he's not a proper English gentleman butler, which I think Alfred probably should be. The Roddler, I haven't got to the point where I've seen the Roddler out of his suit, but he seems weird. Also, it's okay. I don't love it, but it's fine. Other stuff, have I watched any other stuff? No, I've just been watching Batman the Animated Series this week, because it's good. It's still a really good show. In terms of stuff I got an order I didn't think was going to come in. I got some G.I. Joe classified figures. I got 2 Dreadnoks, so 2 more to the old pan, because I've already got Zartan, I've got Zarana. Now I've got Ripper, good old Ripper. Ripper's really cool. I like him a lot. There's some things I'm not too fussed on. I wish he's got like some shades, and they very lightly sit on his face. I wish they could, I don't know, peg in or hook around his ears a little bit more, but I think if they did that, it would compromise the mold a little bit, but I wish there was some way just to secure them to his head a little bit better. Much better than the other figure I'll talk about, but yeah, I like it. It looks good. A cool thing about him, I guess they decided to do for this design, is they've given him one of his eyes is a glass eye. So if anyone's seen Last Action Hero, do you remember Charles Dance's character in that movie? He has the glass eye. He either turns it into a bomb, or it's a little smiley face or something like that, or it's a bullseye. Ripper has the smiley face in his eye for an eye, which is quite cute. When it first got out of the package, I looked at it and went, have they just fucked up his eye? What's wrong with his eye? Then I looked really closely at it and went, oh, it's a little smiley face. That's fun. Kind of neat. Also makes sense why he has shades on. He has his classic, like, Ripper machine gun, which is just a machine gun, and instead of a bayonet, it has like a giant curved blade on it. The ammo clip for it, usually with ammo clips for the guns for these classified figures, they usually almost peg in to the bottom of the gun and like clip in. This one's held a bit more just by friction, and this feels a little bit loose, if I'm to be honest. I don't know if I need to tighten up or whatnot, but it's a little bit I don't know. I wish it was a little bit tighter in there. Obviously, when you get him, some of the joints are like scarily tight, as is the way of things. But he's got some amazing tampos. He's got some nice ones on his forearms, some bicep ones. He's got a little teardrop tattoo on his eye because he's a classy boy. That's how he is. And he's got a mohawk and shaved bits on his side. He's got a really good beard. And he's got his, I guess, classic, like, Jaws of Life machine accessory, which, again, a very cool accessory. Can be a little bit finagly to get him to hold it with both hands. It's got a nice little gear mechanism where you open the jaw and it, just does it itself. You don't need to move each individual prong of the jaw. I never thought that the Jaws of Life were something I'd want to take into a firefight myself. But that's just Ripper's MO. He loves the Jaws of Life. If you're looking on screen at the moment, you can see the cool production photo that they took for him. It's really good. And he's a very pretty figure. And again, as ever, it's worth pointing out, hey, how are the red figures so fucking bad when the G.I. Joes look this good? XL Hedge says, dang, I missed some Optimus Prime news. Yeah. The news is, to be fair, XL Hedge, there wasn't a lot. The news is there's another one coming. Oh, God, there's another one coming. And I was just saying, I hope it's not just the Earthrise mold with a new trailer, because that would be funny and horrifying all at the same time. But yeah, Ripper, very cool. We got Buzzer as well, who's got a tampo on his bicep, and then he's got tampo on his forearms for like furry arm hair. My boy's got some fluffy little blonde hair on his arms, so he's quite cool. He comes with a chainsaw. Thankfully, he doesn't come with the original the original cartoon accurate accessory, which was, imagine a gun, like a machine gun, and instead of having a barrel, just put a chainsaw on the end. I always thought that was weird. I never quite understood how that worked or the practicality of it. They've given him a proper chainsaw. It's a little bit bendy, to be honest. I wish it was a bit more sturdy. The chainsaw, let's call it the chainsaw blade in quotations. That part's quite rubbery. I would have preferred that to be hard plastic. You could, okay. The solution I would have liked, but would have been more expensive, would have been to make the blade part solid plastic and to make the teeth for the chainsaw rubbery plastic. So then, it's safe. No kids are gonna hurt themselves. But like I say, that would require 2 molds, 2 bits of plastic. This is just one thing, and it's done nicely painted. So the teeth on the chainsaw look like they're separate. Big fan of that. He's also got, what else does he have? Oh, he has like 2 other accessories, which unfortunately he can't hold at the same time as his chainsaw. He has a baseball bat with 2 serrated saws. Like if you imagine a saw blade, cut that in half and put them on the side of a bat, on each side of a bat. So it's almost like a baseball bat axe. It's quite cute. Again, they've made that one piece, and thus it's rubbery plastic. It's not super bent or anything like that, but it is kind of I get it. And his last accessory is... How do you describe his last accessory? It's a blade on a chain, but it's a sculpted chain, so it looks like he's like whipping it around or something. The blade kind of looks like something you'd have on a guillotine or on a pendulum. You know in Saw where they have the pendulum trap that swings back and forth? It's kind of like that, where the blade's slightly curved. He's got one of those. He's also got like a knife, because of course, and he's got a pistol with a knife on it as well. He's all about stabbing, I guess. I guess that's the Australian or Cockney in him. In your mind, chat, or people listening at home, the Dreadnoks in the G.I. Joe cartoon, were they from Australia or were they from London? Because I ask this because it felt like they went from Cockney accents to Australian accents fairly frequently. It's not a problem. It is just a mild thing that I noticed. I didn't even mention Buzz also has some shades or goggles kind of things. They have a bit more trouble staying on his head than Rippers do. Rippers feel 100% more secure than Buzz's. Mainly because, again, they don't really hook behind his ears. You can get one to hook behind an ear, but the other one just kind of floats near the ear. There's the idea that it's going to go on the ear, but it doesn't, which is a bit of a shame. Overall, really like them. I'm still in the need of Firefly, the new Firefly. I really need to get him, but I can't find him anywhere, especially for a good price. Like, you can get him from Hasbro Pulse for £24. If you go through other sites, he can get to £30 or more, and that's way too much. 25 is rough. 24 is rough. 30? Ugh. The only problem, as I've said, with Hasbro Pulse from me before is PayPal doesn't work for me at this moment still, and I don't have a credit card. I have a debit card, so I'm kind of snookered in that fact. A little bit annoying. Never mind, though. That's the G.I. Joe stuff. In terms of Transformers, I got some Transformers, baby. Hooah! Because of the Black Friday sales deal, I mentioned it last week. I actually now have had them, finagled with them, and now can talk about them. G2 Mirage. Legacy G2 Mirage, made from the Earthrise mold of Mirage, which I hear is a worse version of Mirage. I will say, apart from the colors looking really nice on him, they've given him the stupid crocodiles on his spoiler, which is really cool. I like that. And some, I guess, gator skin bubbles on the side of his shins. He is not a very fun transformer, I would say. I don't enjoy transforming this mold. And it's mainly because of how the legs transform. So the legs are on these quite big swinging joints, and you kind of swing the entire shin up to his waist to kind of enclose around and make a little shell. I don't find that it's a very smooth process. The joints are quite tight, and it feels like you're going to snap them as you're kind of pulling them around, and there's no good place really to grab them and pull them. So there's this kind of weird dance that you have to do with your fingers to get them to move up into a nice position to then close around to make the vehicle mode. And I will say that the forearms that kind of peg together and then go into the engine block or into the back of the car don't feel like they peg in desperately well either for the vehicle mode. The robot itself is fine. The joints on the knees are very tight because it's these big, like, swinging joints, as I mentioned, for the shins to go up. You know, they're part of the knee joint. So they're not desperately fun to mess around with. But apart from, the robot mode's okay. He is not the best, though. I don't hate it, but I would have been... I think I probably would have liked it from the looks of things if they'd used the I guess, War for Cybertron mold, the Siege mold, if they'd use that instead. He comes with, I don't know which guns are new for him, but he comes with a rocket a rocket launcher, which you can't peg on him. He's either got to hold him in both hands. There's no shoulder port where this can go. I've taken the missile off of the bright pink gun and put it into his back, so it's almost like he's got a tiny little jetpack. That's the thing so far with all of the deluxes I'm going to talk about. The extra guns that they come with, I don't know why they have them, because most of them can't properly utilize them. And I think we might find that with the next figure, depending who it is. No, okay, we'll talk about Jazz next, because it's kind of more on point. Jazz! I think this is the Studio Series Jazz, right? I think. Pretty fun mold. I wish that the arms are on... his shoulders are on the wheels inside of his chest. I wish inside of the chest those wheels locked into position a bit more, because those can swing up and down kind of willy-nilly. It's a bit of a shame. Apart from that, I think Jazz is pretty cool. Not too hard of a transformation either. Pretty easy. Here's something. I wish the knees pegged in a little bit better for the robot mode. There's a small peg under the knee joint that pegs into the front of the shin. Kind of like a Combiner Wars figure. Kind of like that, but not as good. I kind of wish that was a bit bigger of a peg, or it kind of pegged together and held together a little bit tighter. It's not like it falls apart or anything. I just wish it was a bit nicer. Now he comes with his own gun, and I think two other guns. And I think the two other guns are from Hound. One of them definitely is. He's got this weird little pistol, definitely Hound's. And then it looks like he has Hound's shoulder-mounted rocket launcher. However, again, there's no place to peg these extra guns apart from in his hands. So for the shoulder gun, the only thing you can really do is kind of just peg it into the top of the car mode. Okay. It's not great, because the peg's quite loose in itself. But yeah, yeah. Like I say, kind of willy-nilly when it comes to these accessories. Luckily, the car mode, very good, very nice. We talked about the stickers for this guy last week as well from Toy Hacks. I definitely want to pick those up at some point. Very good. And note, all of these figures, these deluxe figures, I got for 14, 15, 16 pounds-ish instead of 25. So I'm a lot happier than paying full price for them. And then the last of the deluxes got, because I didn't get the shitty bite. Get the fuck out of here. I'm not getting that shitty green bite that looks like it's pissed itself. No, thank you. The last one I got was Sideswipe. Haven't had the Sideswipe mold either. All of these molds were new to me. Sideswipe's really good. I'm like, wow. It's a fun mold to play with. I wish I had the G2, the black and red one that usually comes with the bandolier. I wish I had that one. This one's really good, though. Again, we saw the sticker upgrades for it last week. But the standard figure itself, again, really fun. I'm shocked. I don't know if his guns are new. He does have a shoulder-mounted gun, but it actually pegs into his shoulder, thankfully. The missile for it pops out a little bit too frequently for my liking, at the very least. The only thing I wish, and I think this is a universal thing with the figure, when you transform him into car mode, it seems like the legs don't go all the way down, and there's a very slight... The back of the legs stick up just above where the car roof is. It's a very slight kind of bump upwards. So it's not like a flat, smooth surface, but I haven't seen anyone with a nice flat car roof. So I think it's a mold issue more so than anything else. But yeah, I think this is fun. Again, this one is a fun one to transform. Got cool alt mode, vehicle mode. Thankfully, he can hold all of his accessories. There's no weird ones that seem like they're out of place or just anywhere on this figure. He's really good, and he's pretty too. Some people might complain about the face, and it's blue, so it's blue face in a blue helmet, and it can get a bit lost. It's like, yeah, and G2. That's weird G2 aesthetical design choices. That's a thing. It happens. You just kind of gotta roll with the punches, I think, most of the time when you get these G2 figures. His feet are a bit ugly, but that would be the most I could really go for if I was stretching. He's got really big, flat Donald Duck feet, right? Just very, very flat feet. but they serve the purpose. If I was going to complain, I would say that they don't flip into vehicle mode very smoothly. They're on a very small pin joint, so you get the ankle rocker and everything like that. And when you try and put the gray feet inside of the shins, because it's a flap, it requires quite a lot of force, I feel, and it makes me concerned I'm going to snap it. I don't think I will, but it's like, ooh, this doesn't feel great. But yeah, I like him. He's still a good figure. Minor nitpick, though. And the last one I got was Grimlock. Studio Series Grimlock mold. First time I've had it. I don't think, from what I've played of this figure so far, I don't feel this needed to be leader scale. It feels like it could have been leader scale or smaller, because it is not a complex transformer, but it's fun. Like, this is it feels like a big, slightly more interesting version of the original G1 toy, which is what me and Mikey kind of had a feeling it was all those years ago. I definitely think he should have came with a sword. Definitely feels like he should have came with a sword. But he's got decent articulation. Transformations pretty solid all over. The only thing I don't like is folding the tail up together. Putting it together for the robot mode, it feels like there's not enough clearance following the instructions the way that you have to do. And he has a little bit of a gaps here and there, which I would have liked to, for the leader scale, I wish closed up and contained him a little bit more. It's specifically the back heels. You flip them forward, so they go underneath the front of the feet. So he's got these big squares for the back of his dinosaur mode, and it leaves, again, like I say, a few gaps here and there in the alt mode. But it's a minor complaint. He seems to have a peg in his dinosaur mouth for fire effects. I do have the Megatron. I haven't actually used his fire effect on the Grimlock yet. But again, maybe he could have came with a nice blue fire effect or something like that, or a purple fire effect, just to shove in his mush there. But never mind. I got G2 Grimlock and Toxitron for my niece for Christmas. Damn, that's good. That's solid. I was almost going to get the Toxitron. Him and Grimlock were £31 each, which were very good prices, which is why I got the Grimlock. But I was put off by the Toxitron. I was in this dilemma. I was in this dilemma. I can't get the figure now. I was in the dilemma of, I like Toxitron's colors. I think Toxitron looks really cool. I don't think the Laser Optimus Prime mold looks very good. I think the Laser Optimus Prime mold has a lot of problems to it visually. And that was my conundrum. I love Toxitron. I don't think I love this mold. So it just kind of came down to, I guess I'll just skip it. And by the time I thought, fuck it, I'll just buy it, it was gone. So the Lord took it out of my hands, the ability to choose. I wasn't able to choose at that point. It was just one of those things where it's like, done. It's gone, baby. You'll never get it again. Potentially. Yeah, no, it must be. I don't think I will have the opportunity to get it again, at least for a nice price. So maybe that's for the best. I do have a Toxitron on my desk anyway. It's just the New Age one. And that's a really good figure anyway, so I should just learn to be happy with that at the end of the day, shouldn't I? So yeah, my only other woes at the moment are, I want a Firefly, a G.I. Joe classified Firefly, a mole rat, because he looks like a weird zombie dude, and there's another, a Range Viper. These are the three that I really want to get, but at the moment can't. But that is it. I haven't really done much else than that. I painted a few figures for, what do you call it, Warhammer? That's it. For the Cursed City game, I painted a few more things. Not anything too crazy, but I'll put them on screen if you're interested. I've painted up my little ogre hero. I painted up, I can't remember what the next guy is, but it's the dude with the gun and the sword. I painted up him. He's all done and dusted. The wizardy necromancer is also done. I can't remember. Is there anyone else? That obviously took up a bit of time. No, those were the ones I painted. I've also got through a couple more. I've got the priestess to do and the dwarf to do, and then that's all of the big main characters from the Cursed City done and dusted. I did put in a pre-order for the Flesh Eater Courts box set preview pre-order thing that went up this week, and I guess it'll ship some point next week. So there you go. Excel Hedge says, I also somehow Toxitron and Laser Optimus Prime because I love Scourge. Somehow got Toxitron and Laser Optimus Prime because I love Scourge. That's fair enough. Would you say though that the mold is good for that? Is that mold good in your eyes? Because I really hated the way that it looked like his shoulders worked or didn't work for the most part. That was the thing that really threw me off. He's got some weird proportions to him as well. But primarily the thing that threw me off was those shoulders. I thought looked pretty crappy. Kind of like the Armada Megatron, but you could upgrade them so you could kind of fix that issue at the very least. Is there anything else? I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else that's really cool, unfortunately. As is the way, as Christmas comes, news slows down as people buy up Transformers for the year. So yeah, unfortunately, guys, I'll have to end the show there. It's gonna be short until we start moving into the new year. But thank you for joining me this week, everybody. Again, sorry it was a short one. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and other places as Decayed Andy, Rotten Corpse of a Human Being. We're on the Moonbase 2 forums, Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, and Libsyn as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast, and YouTube is Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. The usual spots. Patreon.com/Moonbase2. Having a few issues with Patreon because I need to do the whole prove that I'm not 18 and I can't use my driver's license because it's an international one rather than an American driver's license. It's a real fucking pain in the ass. I have to dance around with Patreon, but I'll get it sorted out at some point. That's a me problem. That's not a you thing you have to worry about. That's a me thing that I'm more irritated with than anything else. But yeah. Hey, Jubal. You've come just at the end of the show. We've just finished talking about Transformers, but that's how it goes. Thanks, everybody, for coming on by. Have a very good day, good evening, and or a good night. I'm, of course, dead on the inside, dead on the outside, and until next time being 8 o'clock in the evening, UK time, Sunday, if you want more Transformers news. Until then, have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Yeah.